guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by a guest, my cousin Maddie. So we are both at Queen's University and I thought it would be really cool to do a first year Q&A to tell you guys about our experience and everything we've learned and what we wish we knew before coming. We're going to be talking a little bit about our personal experiences, and then I also asked for people to send me in questions on Instagram, so we're going to be answering those specific questions too. I have Maddie with me here because we both go to Queen's, but we have like really different experiences, so I thought it'd be really interesting to have both of our perspectives. Let's just get into it. At Queen's, I'm in arts and I'm hoping to major in film and media, and I live in Montreal, so that's like only 2.5 hours away from here.
I'm in engineering and next year I'm going to go into civil engineering, and I'm from New York City, which is like a 7-hour drive.
I think first we're going to answer the specific questions and then we're going to give you like hacks for Queen's, tips and tricks we picked up, what we wish we knew. The first question was, what sort of grades do you need in order to get in?
For Eng, it's pretty high. So I'm coming from the States, so it's a little bit different. I think for me, the grades were like 90 average. I also applied for a scholarship, which also required a certain average. So I think my grades were based off of the scholarship requirement, which was like high 90s.
I don't know what it was for arts. I'm pretty sure it's like mid 80s. Around there, I had a 93 going in, but something to keep in mind when you're doing your applications is they weigh heavily onto your PSE.
I think Queen's is one of the only schools in Canada that like did really consider a lot of your like extracurriculars more than like just your SAT grades and your high school grades.
When did you hear back from Queen's? I heard back the last day of February and I applied in January.
I heard before her. I think it was probably January. I like committed in March.
I committed right away. They send out acceptances up until mid-May, so like don't worry if you don't have it yet. I know someone who got admitted like last day possible and they're in a way better res than me, so like it has nothing to do with like how you're gonna do.
Exactly.
What other unis did you apply to? Why did you decide on Queen's? I only applied to Queen's because I was coming from Montreal and they have like the C-SHEP system, which if you're not familiar with it, it's basically like you do grade 12 and 13 in like a separate thing from high school. I really wanted to get out of there. If I didn't get into Queen's, I could just go to second year C-SHEP, so I didn't really have much to lose. So that's why I only applied to Queen's, and I chose Queen's because I was really looking for a film school and I was kind of debating between Queen's or Ryerson, and then that debate was kind of like city or campus, and I chose campus. That's how I ended up here.
I applied to 8 universities. How much is 8? Okay, so it was McGill, U of T, Queen's, McMaster, Waterloo, Northeastern, Cornell, and New York State School. I feel like I'm missing one. But I applied for engineering and architecture, and then I actually didn't end up deciding until like the very end, because if the school had architecture and engineering programs, I applied to both. In the end, I was like debating kind of between like McGill architecture or Queen's engineering. I think like the biggest deciding factor was like I knew that I wanted to do engineering, and I think that Queen's is like the best school for that. They like really like welcome you into the faculty. They don't make it stressful. It's like really hard work, but it's like a really great strong community for that. I really wanted that.
What is the best res to live in?
I think Lenny.
You think Lenny?
Lenny's not clean at all, and it's very loud, complete mess, but I think like the people there are really great.
I was gonna say Brant.
That changed my answer. No, I don't change my answer. I stick with Lenny.
I was gonna say Brent or like any of the single plus reses because they're just like the newest and they're super nice.
Those are really nice. I've heard those have really thin walls, so you can hear so much.
The single plus ones are like the nicest, but then like Lenny and like Vic, Gordbrock are very social.
I also just think it comes down to the kind of people that you're around and what you make out of it.
What residence are you in? I'm in Waldron Tower.
I'm in Banry.
You have your own sink in the room, which is really great, but the showers and the bathrooms are co-ed, and it's a little far. It's like 6 minutes to band.
There's like 8 people on my floor.
And it's all girls.
All girls.
And the dining hall. The dining hall's in band.
Just walk down my pajamas.
Amazing. Is it lonely living in residence?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. You're constantly surrounded by people.
You know, if you have a single room, like you do get your like personal space, which is really nice. Sometimes you need the balance of being constantly surrounded by people and then just like being in your own space.
Even if you're alone in your room, there's someone next to you, there's someone across the hall. Is it possible to have a quiet night to yourself?
Depends on where you live. Here, yes.
And mine, no. Like mine isn't even like a party res. On the weekends, I can hear the music coming from every other floor. What are the showers like? Is it weird that they're co-ed?
Well, mine aren't co-ed.
Yeah, hers are not. My showers are pretty good. Like I've heard Lenny's are gross.
Last time I was there, the curtain was on the ground.
So for mine, like it's actually really nice. Like you get a door with a curtain over the door and then a little changing room and then a curtain and then a shower. So it's really private. There's 3 cubicles, by the way. First semester, I was never there at the same time as someone else. This semester I have been, but I don't know who they are, you know? So it's like really not weird. Any general advice for res?
Clean your room. Get a fridge.
Oh my god, yeah. I put that on the like advice
that is
later.
The biggest thing. Like,
get a bigger fridge.
Literally get a big fridge. Currently in my fridge, I have sriracha, an empty bottle, and cream cheese. That is it. Still worth it.
I got a really small fridge because I didn't think I was gonna need anything. I was very wrong. I have like half the size of the fridge which is Maddie, and mine was like overflowing. Try and socialize with your floor. Have some like friends on your floor so that like if anything ever happens in your room, like you need post-its, you have someone ask on your floor. Shout out to Barker and Siobhan.
Yeah. I love you guys.
Was it difficult to adjust to living away from home, and how was the adjustment? Since I went to summer camp, I feel like it was really similar to that. It wasn't new to me to be away from my parents for like an extended period of time. The adjustment honestly was fine because you're just so busy from the get-go. Also, I was really fortunate since I live so close that I was able to go home for my friend's birthday, my birthday, Thanksgiving, like a bunch of that. So honestly, it was really easy to adjust.
It's so true. Like what your first like I'd say like month, you're on this like high of like all the excitement of like new people, new classes. It's like really great. But like if you live like really far away, I think you do miss it after you like kind of settle down. I didn't go back home until winter break. Like I didn't see like my family or anything, and so like there'll be moments like where you will miss like your home, and that's like very normal. In the end, I had a really great adjustment to it.
What is it like living in Kingston versus Montreal? Was the change from a big city to a small town hard? It's very different. You're coming from like a huge city. You can take the bus or the metro to like a million different places, and then here in Kingston, it's like a 3-minute bus ride and then you're downtown, and there's one block of downtown and that's it. So it's completely different, but I really like it.
I have to say it totally changes like how the community and the campus is. It's such a small town, so there's nowhere really to go. It forces you to be in this kind of like community bubble, which is like super nice.
Wherever you go, it's students. It's kind of like your town.
I really like that. Again, like coming from New York City to Kingston, I literally like the first time I got here, I was like, oh my god, there's so much sky. I'm like not used to like that much sky and that much green.
When I go back and I see the tall buildings, I'm like, what is this? Like, it's so weird to think. Oh my god, Sophie's FaceTime. What's
Hi!
I forget what I was saying before she FaceTimed, but basically I never even knew like buildings were like a thing until I didn't have them, and now I really appreciate them. How often do you return home, and how do you get there? Train, plane, car? I went home pretty often first semester. I had like reasons to. I think I went home like 5 times. This semester I've gone home once. I'm going home a second time. I used to take the bus, but then it became like really delayed every time I took it, so I started taking the train, and I like it a lot better.
I think I went home for winter break and reading week, which is in February, and then I went to Montreal during Canadian Thanksgiving, and all of those times I took a bus to Montreal and then drove back home. Don't take the bus unless you want to wait like an hour and a half after.
The bus is really delayed. If you miss homemade food, yes.
So
oh my gosh. Every time I go home, I like request a menu from my dad.
I miss it so much. I miss it so much.
Is freshman 15 real, and how hard is it to avoid?
I would say it is real. Depends on you as a person. Like I know people who didn't work out a lot in high school work out more, and then I know people who are the opposite.
I feel like freshman 15 comes from after you go out drinking, like people always go to get pizza and like McDonald's and things like that. I think that's where like the myth has come from.
Like it's really easy just to get like fries and like a burger and like ice cream every day.
Because it's available for you. You just get it.
And it's nice like every so often, but like just kind of like know going in.
How is the food? I like the food at like the retail places. Lazy, Loco, Booster Juice, Pita Pit. I like that food. Like obviously it's not the best and it's definitely not the healthiest, but like I like it. Calfs are a little like hit or miss.
Yeah, I agree.
Where's the best food calf wise? Definitely Ban.
Ban? Calf wise.
There's West, Lenny, Ban. But West, like you only really eat there if you're on West. But definitely between Ban and Lenny, like Ban is a million times better. Like Lenny, they make the food like in advance and then just like stick it under like heat roofs. But then at Ban, like they're literally making the food right in front of you. Our class is hard. See, this is where it's great to have an edge with me. Yeah, they're hard and they're challenging, but like you just gotta get used to the workload, work hard. Like there's no slacking. Once you're in university, like it's not like chill, like you got it and like you gotta keep at it.
Yes, it's very hard, but you have to learn how to prioritize your time. It is hard. It's really hard. PSA, study old exams.
Douglas or Stauffer, other good study spots. Douglas.
I say Douglas too.
It's so nice. Like the Harry Potter reading room is the only thing that can make me concentrate. Whenever I get in Douglas, I'm like, time to focus and work. Like it's like magical.
I really like the ILC. It's the Eng building.
Yeah, the Performing Arts building, the Isabel Bader, is like really good for studying also because it's like the whole wall is like glass and you look out into the lake.
I think there's a really good cafe.
Oh my god, yeah. Juniper Cafe.
I've never been. We should go.
Yeah, let's go. Date. Is it hard to make friends?
No. I mean, I guess it depends on your personality.
I heard someone else talk about this in like the first year Q&A. I feel like it's really easy to meet people, but it like you have to take that extra step to actually like form a really good strong bond.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Because you're gonna be meeting so many people. eventually like you'll meet someone who you like really get along with well, and then you'll like bond over like similar interests and stuff.
I also like really believe in like the more the merrier. Just include everyone. If you're going out to dinner and then like you have another friend, be like, come with us, you know? Yeah. When did you start looking for houses? I think November. People always say like you need to have your house by November. It's what, like March 27th? And in like the Facebook group, there are still people saying like, we have an empty room. Is anyone looking for one? Like, come join us. There are still houses out there. The past tenants have until December 1st to tell the landlord if they're taking it for another year. If everyone's like getting a house in November and you're looking online and there's like nothing left, wait till December 1st, because then like all the houses will be available. Is it hard to fit in if you're not a big partier?
You can find your people who don't like to. Like, that's totally fine. It is like a really social school. If that's something that you do like, that's like really, really good for you.
If you want to go party, there's always something happening. But if you don't want to, you do whatever you want. And it's like, no one's like getting mad at you for not going out. If anything moved, that's because my memory card just like glitched. Last question. How do you stay on top of your work and not fall behind? Just to warn you, probably the first 2 months you will be behind. Even if you're super into school, my high school and C-Shep did not prepare me for the workload. So it was really a struggle at first. Strategize when you're gonna do what. For me, it was kind of easy because I basically have like the exact same readings and homework and modules every week. So I know what I have to do. Have a planner. For me, what I like to do is put a little box next to everything I have to do. And I get like this urge to check off the box. And if it's not checked off, like kind of stresses me out. So that like gets me to do my homework ASAP.
Zoe is a very organized person.
That's my
those
experience.
who are less organized, I would just say stay on top of when everything is due. Make sure that you write that stuff down. If you don't, you can't keep that information in your head. Like, it's not gonna work out. If you find like a repetition in like what your like assignments are, that's super helpful, like what you were saying. If you are behind, I suggest like sit down, go to the library and get as much stuff as you can to catch up, because it's really, really easy to get behind. I'm very behind right now, so after this I'm gonna study.
Those are all the questions. We're just gonna like give our own little hacks and like reasons why you should come to Queens. There's sometimes like all ages events, and they can be like kind of lame at first, but then like they're a really good way to meet people, specifically in first year. Even though some of the rooms like aren't like as nice as like Brant or Leggett or Watts or whatever, if you like decorate it and you bring like a lot of stuff from home, it really makes it feel like yours, and you just like forget about like the grossness of the walls or whatever.
Take time during like maybe like the weekend or something, or like one afternoon, to like go and find little places that you like to go and study. I think during like finals week or something, I found like a really nice place. It was like either Douglas or Stoff, because there's so many other places on campus that like you can find to like go and like work there for a really long time that's like not crowded. So like find like your little spot, which is really nice.
The food plan here for like when you're in res is amazing. I think it's like the best meal plan that I've heard of any other university. Join the Facebook groups and chats and everything. Like, there's so many pages, and that's like a really great way to like start communicating with people, especially if you want a roommate or anything, so that when you get here you have familiar faces even if you don't know anyone. And then a thing that I like learned is college classes are not like high school classes. English was my best class, I think, like in high school, one of them, and here it is so hard. And like psychology I loved in high school, here it is so hard. Just know, like, I was shocked.
For Eng, it actually helped a lot having taken AP classes. It might be too late now, but do that your senior year or whatever, because that helps a lot.
I took AP English and it was so much easier than the English here, so yeah, it was annoying.
I don't say it. I
look disgusting. Can you Photoshop these? This is CO Maddie's amazing form. What do you have to say to people who are considering Queens?
I think it's the most beautiful camp. Oh my god, where do I even live? You got like small town vibes, kind of.
Yeah.
Super cute. Like, all the class sizes are really good. I love it.
Have you had dinner yet?
Yeah, I just.
I think that would me.
Okay, but I don't want to use a tan.
I'll give you a
Did you
tam.
explain tams?
Really?
Yeah, I'm giving Maddie a tam for dinner.
Did you explain tams?
Yes, I did. And I said that our meal plan's really good. Do you agree?
This meal plan, like, I talked to my friends from like University of Ottawa, like anywhere else, like this meal plan is bougie.
That's what I said. Believe me, our meal plan's the best.
It's better than anything. Like Tim's, Booster Juice, Pita Pip, anywhere you want, it's included.
Starbucks. We have a meal plan that includes Starbucks.
Okay. I've got it back. Usually, like, you get a coffee, a sandwich, like a muffin. That's usually like $20 because it's expensive. Starbucks, you get a tam. You get it for a tam. Oh, I can't swear. But you can get it for a tam, which is like crazy.
So yeah, that's pretty much like all the questions we got. That's kind of like our experience. It's really great here. As Siobhan said, like, the campus is out of like Hogwarts. Like, it's beautiful. And if you have any other questions, feel free to like leave a comment down below or like DM me on Instagram, because I will answer you.
It's gonna be tough. Like, you're gonna get adjusted. Not everything is what you expected it to be. Just make the most of it and you'll have a really fun time.
Yeah, so I would say come to Queens.
Yeah, so that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and come to Queens.
Okay, cool.
Bye.